Welcome everybody to another edition of the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast. I am Eric.
I'm Lord Manny. Hey, Hayes!
And I am Marcus, the grand finale, and I had to do a very short interest because I am still counting my votes. I am currently in Nevada, and I got votes right here that are still being counted. And I just don't know what to do.
Marcus,
don't know what to do with all these votes.
And many people may not understand.
I've been locked in a room, and I don't know what's going on anymore.
Technically, you're breaking the law by having votes in your own house.
You shouldn't have, Marcus. Yeah, exactly.
They told me I could take my work home. But I still got votes to find.
Well, Marcus, I just want to let you know you're already leading up into the conspiracy theory of someone who says everything is fake, everything is not real. I don't care today.
We talking about pro wrestling.
You have a point. Yes. Pro wrestling is what it is. Gentlemen, I'm feeling great today. Today is a good day. As for anyone who follows American politics, yes, I will say it. President Biden-elect won. The end of Trump.
Wow.
Trump is over. We got 2 months to survive. I don't know if we can make it out of 2020, but damn it, at least I feel good today.
You say that, but like I remember a very specific Triple H promo where he referred to Mick Foley as a turd that won't go away, and that will be what Trump will be for the rest of America.
Oh man,
I know. Go ahead, Marcus.
Donald Trump will be like Randy Orton to John Cena, in which every other month he gonna show up. He gonna challenge you for that title, and you guys are gonna keep fighting for the rest of your careers. This is never ending. And then this dude's gonna rerun in 2024. He's upset. I mean, he's the greatest heel in the history of the world. And well, maybe not. I'm giving him better than Hitler. He's better than Hitler. Hitler may have killed a bunch of people, and it's terrible. But Donald Trump knows how to bring entertainment to being a heel because he don't go away. He ain't backing down.
Wow, that went pretty dark right there, Marcus. I don't even know what to say. Right, you Marcus. One thing I've learned in life is that we should probably never bring up Hitler on any type of creative project that you do. It just really shouldn't be brought up. As I had
to. He's a terrible person.
Yes, and I had to adjust our recording because the beginning recording did not make it, so I might have to put the show together. Damn, that's more work for me.
Why don't you just throw it out there? Is this
where you're gonna start? You're gonna start the show over again without us knowing?
No, I'm gonna keep it going.
You've done this before.
I have done it before, and I will probably do it again, just because that is just who I am. But my best way to sum up this election is something that I read on Facebook. This was like a big giant game of Uno, and someone just dropped that draw 4 and said blue bitch. And that's how it went down. And, you know.
Did you just steal Chris's joke?
No, I didn't. Oh, I might have did. I didn't look in the chat. Oh, my bad.
Wow.
Damn.
That's what you're about. You're about spiritual plagiarism.
Hey.
Or, this whole election is, it was hilarious. It was just watching people stand still, looking at 253, 214, or whatever channel you look, 264 to 213, whatever channel you're looking at. And it's just looking at it going like, we ain't got no more votes coming in. The ballot started 3 days late in counting, which was amazing. And, and my favorite thing is Trump ordered his clan, his group, to not send in mail-in ballots.
Yeah.
And yet when Biden's group put up mail-in ballots, he's like, they cheating, man. They can't be doing that. That's why you have no mail-in ballots.
Yeah, it just makes absolutely no sense. But the one thing that doesn't make sense either is professional wrestling. That's what we're here to talk about. So we probably should stop talking about politics. It's not like anybody watches this anyway.
Gun?
Huh?
Did you buy a gun?
No, I did not buy a gun. You know I can't buy no gun, Marcus.
They're going to be coming out, man. They're going to come out the next day. Yeah, we lost today. But we ain't going to lose the war. Civil War 2. End game.
That sounds like a bad video game.
Coming this winter.
Manny, you better make room for us because we coming to your house. You're going to have a bunch of black people showing up to your house in London. We don't know how we're going to get there, but we going to make it. I guarantee, though, I'm not going to get on no ship, though, this time. Anyway.
You got on ship last time.
How many wrestling shirts do I own? You know, Chris, the better question is how many wrestling shirts do I own that I can fit still? Because that's a hard question, but I have at least 10. And I felt this was my most political happy shirt, Happy Rusev Day, so I was like, why not?
You got Manny with the John Boyega shirt, right? I think.
It's Marcus Rashford.
It's a soccer player, Marcus. Soccer player.
Oh well, never mind.
Marcus, but
Manchester United striker that's feeding the kids.
But Marcus, yes, that's Mark. That is his thing. He wants to feed kids. You know, Chris is right. Chris said I chastised Marcus for bringing up Hitler, but then I mentioned slavery. We are downhill as it is. So
stay tuned for our Jeffrey Epstein references.
So gentlemen, I wanted to start this show off with a question I have for you, because this week in wrestling, on all 4 shows that I watched, Raw, Dynamite, NXT, and SmackDown, they all had questionable main events for me, which I didn't understand why these matches were closing out the shows. So I want to turn to you, gentlemen, and see if you guys can rank from worst to best in the main events of the week. So I will start off with Monday Night Raw. We had Drew McIntyre in a handicap match against John Morrison and The Miz. Then we go to Dynamite.
I forgot that match happened.
Then we had Dynamite.
Yeah, I did too.
Wait, come on, guys. You got to stick with me because this is going to be a lot harder than you think. Dynamite closed out with the 6-man tag of Cody Rhodes and the Gun Club going against the Dark Order with Colt Cabana. Then we go to NXT, where we have the revisiting of Tommaso Ciampa going against Velveteen Dream. And then we go to SmackDown, where it ends with Jey Uso going against Kevin Owens. Marcus, I turn to you first. Of all 4 of those main events, which one is at your bottom?
At my bottom? What do you? Am I ranking? Is my bottom the one that I feel like this absolutely shouldn't have been the main event, or is my bottom the one that should be the
no, it absolutely shouldn't have been the main event under no circumstances.
Okay,
Maddie has a question. Yes, Maddie.
Question. So, could a main event be replaced with just an interview segment?
Was there?
So like a talking segment.
Are we replacing the main event?
So for instance, on AEW, I would have replaced the 6-man tag with Mox and.
Oh no, we're gonna ask that question right now. We're just ranking what was the worst from there, and we're gonna discuss that way. I'm trying to do something a little different to spice up, to get my numbers up. Damn it, I'm trying to get my numbers up. So Marcus, I turn to you.
You're trying to get your dry ass turkey, huh? You trying to make this dry ass turkey into something special?
I made some gravy, man. I'm trying to make it a little bit moist. So Marcus,
what reference?
So what? That is not. That is a cookie reference. What was the worst main event?
Turkey is another word. The absolute worst. I'm going to say the one that had absolutely no business because it doesn't involve the main storyline, and these people mostly all wrestle on AEW Dark. I'm going with the 6-man tag with Cody, Dark Order, Colt Boom Boom Cabana, John Silver. I believe 10 was involved in it.
10 was there.
Yeah, and I believe this had no reason at all to be main eventing a television show.
Manny, do you agree with Marcus where that was not your main event? That's the worst main event.
100%, because none of these guys other than Cody should be the ones main eventing a Dynamite. So like you had the star power of Cody, but then you had the negative starlights of everyone else in that match, because none of them should have been in that main event.
Especially with how that match ended, with of course Team Cody winning, and then like next thing you know, Cody decides to cut a promo on Darby Allin, and I'm like, no, because earlier in the show, I think the money segment of all of AEW this week was the segment between the King and Jon Moxley. I mean,
wait. I know we're gonna talk about the Mad King and all that, but are we done ranking?
No, Marcus, no, because we're gonna rank, but we're gonna also conversate, Marcus. This is gonna be like a natural thing to like talk about the show. Like I'm trying to do things a little bit different, baby. I'm trying to get my numbers up.
Moist that turkey, man. Butter that turkey.
That gravy, man. That gravy,
Stuff
baby.
that turkey.
But like, I thought that segment between Mox and Eddie Edwards. No, wait. Why can't I? Eddie Kingston.
Edwards.
Eddie Kingston. You know, I'm old. I'm old and senile. You know, I'm thinking about gravy. Was like the best segment, and that's how I think I would have been more motivated to go into Full Gear tonight. And I really think they dropped the ball because they're still featuring Cody, but that Mox and Kingston segment was fire. Wouldn't you agree, Manny?
Yes, but you got to also realize that Cody buried the fucking AEW World Title by calling his title the Ace title.
He did.
I didn't even know. I only just realized that like now, the moment you started talking about that, how this should have been the main event segment. Yeah, he totally buried it by saying it's the Ace title, and it's not.
No, it's not even close because like my whole thing was like, oh, Darby Allin, I handpicked you to be part of this organization, and we've already fought so many times. Like, there is nothing exciting about this match because it has nothing back in it except that Darby Allin has thrown himself off of a bunch of skateboards and body bags, and now he gets a chance to fight Cody Rhodes. Instead, when you have this nice organic storyline between Kingston and Mox, and it's like one of the few things in AEW that you have to hold on to make it seem like a cinematic show. Marcus, do you agree that Mox and Kingston should have closed out the show?
I'm going for the fun of the show. I'm going to disagree with you guys on that. Should have closed out the show.
So
yes,
can I pause you real
quick,
Marcus? So technically, by you saying just for the fun of the show, you're disagreeing to disagree, but in actuality, you're saying that we're right. I'm going to understand this correctly.
I'm not going to give you that. I'm not going to let you deduce that, Mr. Sherlock Holmes, all right?
Marcus, don't for the fun of the show kind of stuff, because you may join Eric and Keith Lee in the Hippo Crate Club.
I am not a hippo in a crate. Oh, I'm just going to say that, yes, it was a tremendous segment, and both men brought it, and they did Eskimo noses with each other, but they couldn't have any physical contact with each other. And the way a Dynamite, as I've been taught to end, there's always some form of fisticuffs that need to happen for whatever reason whatsoever. And at the end of Dynamite this week, we got that in the form of a match and a promo and all that. So I don't feel like the Kingston and Mox, they were in, and it would just seem like, the show just ended, and it wouldn't feel like a Dynamite ending. But even though Eddie Kingston ended the show going like, "You gonna have to kill me," would be some drama ass shit, and Mox going to his knees. Damn, I am gonna have to kill this motherfucker because he's crazy.
I ask you both this question then. So if you rank both Cody and that segment together, which is more likely to make you buy the pay-per-view? Even though none of us are going to buy the pay-per-view, but which is the most likely to make you buy that pay-per-view? Because that's what you would put on last.
I'm buying it for Mox and Kingston, and for the simple reason that any man that walks out in an above the rim jersey that was worn in the movie, one of the worst and greatest basketball movies of all time, and the fact of how Kingston looked when Mox is talking to him, and he had that face. This motherfucker is testing me right now. You just don't know. I would hit you if I wasn't going to lose this match. And there was a sense of realism that, guess what? Kingston has a chance. And that's the thing that AEW really fails at, is making us think that the people who are fighting each other, another party has a chance to win. Although it's Cody versus Darby, I don't think Darby's winning. Cody just got the belt back. He ain't ready to give it up yet. Marcus, what about you?
Well, and they gave me a sense of believability with this match between the Mad King, Eddie Kingston, and Moxley on who's going to come out on top of this I Quit match, because neither one is going to say I quit, or for one way or another. But it's not going to be the best match. It's going to be a terrible match. It's put me in this. It's put me into here to hear the story and to see what's going to happen, of how he's going to get this fool to quit. My theory behind it is that I think Mox is going to quit because I feel like he's going to be like, I can't kill my friend. So I'm going to quit. I'm going to just quit killing him. So that's my theory behind it. This is the best thing. It's going to get a ton of heat, whatever. But that's how I see it ending. But I think it's going to be a trash match.
Okay.
I think FTR and the Bucks should end the show.
Why?
To be honest.
Because Matt Buck, I can't think of his name. Why can't I think of everybody's name right now? Matt Jackson, he's hurt. He should never had that match on AEW as it is. He had a bad knee. If you're gonna go out with. It just didn't make any sense, but we'll talk about that later because we got to stay in our main event.
I don't care. I believe that's going to be still a good match. I think an injured Matt Jackson or whatever can still put on a great main event, and it'd be nice to see the tag team championship on the line in the main event at a pay-per-view.
Yeah, but
I'm going with that. That's my full gear main event.
Yeah, but
screw Cody, screw Mox, screw all that. The main event is the match that you've been waiting to see, FTR versus the Bucks.
Yeah, but then they put that stupid-ass stipulation on there that if the Bucks don't win, they will never challenge again for the... I hate that stipulation because it already been done with Cody. But we digress. So we agree that we did not like AEW's main event. So, Manny, the third worst main event, who had it?
I would have to say Raw. It just didn't feel it. I didn't get anything from it. Like, it was, like, don't get me wrong, it was all right, but like, it was just thrown there for just to be there.
And Manny, I would agree with you in this situation for the simple reason. The fact is that the show was really about Sheamus coming up to Drew McIntyre, asking him to be part of the Survivor Series team because technically Drew doesn't have anything to do in WWE right now because it's the Fiend, Randy, and the whole Roman Reigns romance of SmackDown. So Drew McIntyre really just kind of floating around. He had some beef with The Miz and Morrison, but if the Money in the Bank is not on the line, I don't think anyone cares about them facing him in a handicap match. Marcus, do you agree that Raw was right there at number 3 with the worst main event?
I'm going to disagree with this. Because for me, the Raw thing, it all circles Survivor Series, the world title, and it started off the show with The Miz, was this week The Miz talking all this shit with the buddy in the big briefcase? Or was that a previous week? Wrestling weeks are so long.
This week. He kicked off this week trying to cash in on Randy Orton, didn't he?
Yes, yeah. And then Drew McIntyre, being the hater that he is, he interrupted. Said
nobody is cashing in. Oh, nobody's defeated Randy Orton until I do it. So at least it felt with the main event storyline, because I can't honestly think of anything else that would have closed Raw other than this match, which, it's not the most desirable match, a handicap match or whatnot, but I couldn't imagine another show on this show actually closing out Raw this week. So for that, it's hard for me to put that in that spot.
So
didn't it end with the Fiend and Alexa Bliss looking on or something? It was in like 20 segments this week, or it was just RKO.
It was just RKO. It was just
RKO.
Yeah, it's just RKO. So like for me, Marcus, I felt that it was something that could have replaced that as a main event. That I really enjoyed the match of them making Braun Strowman qualify to be part of Team Raw. Like the fact that Keith Lee.
You really care about that?
You know what? For what it was, Marcus, this is the one thing that Monday Night Raw and WWE has to offer that AEW and also some other companies can't compete with. They have size. Like, these were 3 big men going at it, and to me, it was logical for the fact of why they fought Braun Strowman. I just wish Keith Lee talked a little bit quicker because I was like, damn it, he's going to take forever to get these words out. And Sheamus is a constant professional. Braun Strowman held his own, and it was a very enjoyable match. And then afterwards, AJ bringing them together, and then them going apart, and then you see AJ in the middle of the ring like, no! I wouldn't mind having Raw in that way for me.
It's interesting you bring up Keith Lee. The moment he spoke, and then the moment Braun Strowman came out and started talking, he did this, which is why I put him in the Hippo Crate Hall of Fame, was he held up the mic in the other hand and then looked at a pretend watch and went like this. And I'm like, Keith, you cannot be doing that when someone else is talking because you make time go backwards.
He does.
Yes.
It was so long when he was talking. It was so long. But AJ on commentary was great. The fact that his bodyguard still doesn't have a name is even more.
That giant man, that giant human being,
or your giant associate. I mean, it wasn't much for Monday Night Raw that I enjoyed, so I had to take what I could get. So Marcus, I turn to you. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah.
Number two for main events, because you.
Oh no! But what did Marcus say? What he was going to put at number 3 instead of the Raw main event?
What would you put at number 3, Marcus? Then.
I would have went with Ciampa and Velveteen Dream. Enjoyed the match. What was there? What was there? There was no drama. There's no elevation to this. It was just like there was nobody that walked up the Ciampa, you're the number 1 contender, or I'm coming for you, or there was no random attacking or nothing. It just seemed like this match happened. I enjoyed it. It was fine, but it had no reason to exist.
To be honest, I agree actually, because didn't the 3-way with Kushida, Velveteen, and Tommaso open up NXT a couple of weeks ago? So yeah, technically this shouldn't have elevated to a main event.
Like honestly, let's all be perfectly. I think Raw and NXT both could have been swapped in the situation of who could have been at this part. Marcus, you were correct. I don't disagree with either way. I could agree with either way, because when I was watching this match, I was like, shit. I thought Johnny Atlas was feuding with Ciampa, but no, I was like, no, that might be with Escobar. It's so many people, like Ciampa is back, and Ciampa is just kind of doing a little bit of everything, but he's not doing much. And like, I just didn't need this match with him against Velveteen. Like you said, not a bad match, but it really didn't move anything in the positive direction from NXT, and especially coming after Halloween Havoc, which was a really, really good show.
But what match would you have replaced this with? Because I could have think of several. Because NXT is NXT. Like, you're going to get great matches and whatever you get with it. But what match would you have replaced this main event with?
Marcus, I would have went with Shotzi versus Toni Storm. I think that you put Toni Storm in a bigger thing because she's a big deal. Then it had a story that was ending with LeRae running over the tank that she really couldn't run over the tank. And I think sometimes it's okay to let the women close off the show with a storyline, because it was kind of a Johnny Gargano night where, you know, Johnny Gargano is spinning the wheel and he got the dude in the screen mask with him looking right there. So I think you could have ended with the Garganos trying to let their place on the NXT roster be felt.
To be fair, they're not
running over a tank is pretty cheesy at the end of a show. Like, I enjoyed the segment.
They explained how much the tank meant to her, and like, let's be real, like NXT aren't afraid to put women's matches as main events.
Yeah.
So like, they could have totally done it, because like basically that would be the cliffhanger to bring you to like, what the fuck Shotzi gonna do next week? Yeah,
and outside of my favorite thing of NXT that we'll talk about once we start ranking our main events, we'll just move on. So I guess by default, the best main event this week was Jey Uso versus Kevin Owens.
I can't let you say it's the best.
But of the lot.
The best of a bad bunch.
Of a bad bunch. But at the end of the day, Manny, you have to agree, it's the only one that made sense, because Kevin Owens came up there talking shit to Jey Uso, was talking about the family. Then Jey Uso found out that he had an unauthorized interview because the tribal chief did not approve this. So many people got in trouble over this. Paul was like, he told Paul, you supposed to make sure everything's going. How did this happen? Like, for me, this match had a reason behind happening at the end of the show. At the end of the day, it was an okay match, but still.
I guarantee you Paul Heyman had to change his suit and have a shower at the moment he questioned if he knew about that interview, because Paul Heyman shit himself. I 100% know he shit himself.
Yes. That's what it looked like. Like, how am I supposed to know if he gonna do an impromptu interview? Mr. Reigns is an impromptu interview.
No, Marcus.
No one knew but Caleb Braxton.
It was
the only person that knew that interview was happening that night was Caleb Braxton.
Marcus, they did not, because Caleb Braxton was back there getting the equipment ready, and I don't know why Jay needed a cup of coffee before he got that. The same reason why KO needed a banana and a bottle of water. Don't know what this was about.
Just saying, Caleb's been wedge driving for a while.
Well, you know, Charlie has been throwing that wedge into people's lives, so Caleb decided I have to go with these aggressive interview techniques. But overall,
I thought I thought Kayla was gonna get slapped by Jey Uso. It's like you throwing shade at me too. Like Kevin Owens is one thing to walk up over here eating this fucking banana and some snacks, but you gonna come at me like that? He gonna come at me with his potassium. You gonna come at me and continue to talk about ain't shit?
You gonna come at me with your potassium, with your potassium deficient ass. Come here.
Eric, you've just got the title of the show today.
Come at me with that potassium. Hopefully, I can remember
Come
that.
at me with potassium.
But yeah, I mean, overall, I think that the Roman Reigns character is the best thing about SmackDown. You watch it to see what he's going to do. The fact when we were having a main event and Roman was so frustrated with Jay was doing, he sent Paul Heyman down to the ringside, but Paul Heyman had no idea what to do at ringside. He just kept saying, "Oh no, what are you doing? Like, you're going to get me beat up."
Yeah, I really enjoyed the Roman and Paul dynamic. Can this end up being that Paul be like, "Hey man, Roman beats the shit out of Paul Heyman and this brings back Brock Lesnar"? Are you down for this? Are you down for this Roman versus? Are you down for this Roman and a babyface Brock Lesnar feud?
Well, you know, the thing is, I don't know if I can see Brock as a good guy. But the thing is, I don't want you.
He's not a good guy, Eric. He's just Brock.
Potassium drama.
Banana Rama.
Banana Rama. I do like Banana Rama. I should write that one down as a possible candidate. But I like bad guy Roman, and I don't want to see it get rumored. So, like, for me, like, I don't want to bring back Brock just yet because I would like to see where does this go with Roman, because it's so, like, he's not even wrestling.
Like right away. I don't mean like right away. I don't mean like, let's just cut this in the middle of the storyline or the family head of the table. But I mean, down the line, he's going to have to run into some opponents.
Yeah.
And one of them could be Brock Lesnar, or would you bring in Phil to come in and try to deal with him?
Ain't coming back.
Based off of the tweet that the tweet that Phil sent to Linda McMahon, I don't think Phil ever coming back.
He sent something to Linda?
So you know the famous picture of CM Punk where he's in the crowd, he's blowing a kiss and he's holding the title? Well, Linda McMahon tweeted something about how we need to count all the votes and not the league. You know, the rhetoric that the Trump supporters are having. So he has that picture.
And sweets.
Yeah, he has that picture, but he put Joe Biden face over here, and it's Joe Biden blowing her a kiss like, "Bye, bitch." Like, I'm like, okay, that.
I feel, that it's very rare when Phil gets my attention on wherever he comment, but that's pretty good.
He might have sent
the tweet,
but
that's probably because I have political bias.
He might have sent the tweet, or he might have liked the tweet. All I know, I saw a player coach right there, and I laughed my ass off. But Roman thinks everything. So let's stick with SmackDown. Like the main event that I felt should
talk about Roman stuff.
No,
I know we want to SmackDown now, but I have some more Roman stuff.
Okay, go ahead then, Marcus.
Just a quick question. Is he the best character in wrestling right now? In all the wrestling. So 5 million characters in wrestling. Is Roman Reigns the best character right now in wrestling?
If I had most I'm invested in.
If I had a ranking, Roman is number 1. Surprisingly, number 2 would probably be Eddie Kingston, because I think Eddie Kingston brings that raw, real moment. Number 3, ooh.
I didn't know if that was a full ranking, man. That was a quick question.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You can go ahead and start.
No, because Marcus, I can't go after number 2.
It's gonna be a quick question.
No, I think he is the best. He's the one consistent thing on SmackDown that makes SmackDown watchable, because you're like, I can get through all these other matches to see what Roman is gonna do next, and that's what all wrestling shows need. You need to have that marquee act that gets you to the next point, that make you sit through that R-Truth match against Bobby Lashley that no one needed, but everybody wanted. Like, it's...
Don't you dare disrespect R-Truth like that. He was watching John Cena on TV on Saturdays when he was young.
he came out there to get his water bottle signed. He didn't know.
Bobby Boucher.
He did not know he was going to have a match against Bobby Lashley. It's those little things in wrestling that make you like,
yeah.
But I think we can agree that I think the main event for me that could have closed out SmackDown, minus Jay versus Kevin Owens, was the match that started off SmackDown that was Bayley versus Sasha Banks.
I
And
don't know. To me, it felt like they phoned it in.
well,
What?
because they all knew it wasn't gonna be no finish. Like
They
you,
gotta finish.
Bayley grabbed chairs and stuff, man. That ain't no finish.
No,
That wasn't the finish. That was the first part of the match.
I just knew like they were gonna give Sasha the win anyway, which I said last week, just to get over the hump of Sasha can't defend the title.
But you know, it's not about her defending the title. It's her keeping the title over 30 days. She can't keep it over 30 days. Like, I need to get her at least have it for 3 months. And then I'll be like, you know what? She had a solid reign. Like,
So she's not getting Carmella?
You know, the things that I read about Carmella, I don't like the new Carmella look. It just looked too fake for me, and maybe because me and Blanche just don't get along. But the all red everything, and the whole rumor is that she's gonna have that so she can feud with
Eva Marie.
I don't believe that rumor for a second,
Marcus,
and I'm sorry.
Marcus,
I don't believe that rumor
that
for
sounds
a
like something
second.
Vince would do.
That sounds like some dirt sheet shit that never is going to happen. That does not even sound remotely interesting to anybody, even Vince McMahon, who goes like, let's have an all red everything feud.
You
just don't see that
You're
happen.
telling me that's not in his wheelhouse.
I believe it's under his capabilities and powers, but I don't believe he's actually considered that.
I 100% believe he's got a notebook of things he wants to try, but other people have told him no.
A feud over a color. If you lose to me,
Marcus,
you are there will be consequences.
You're
and you are no longer wearing the color red ever again. If I see you in red, you are fired. And that will be the feud. And you see people in orange.
You're forgetting in the past. You're forgetting in the past that Booker T and Edge feuded over a commercial in Japan about hair shampoo.
Yeah, but how long did that really go?
It was a WrestleMania match.
I don't remember what these feuds was.
Marcus, wrestling has always been about petty feuds, and there's nothing that's going to ever change the fact that
fight over the color red.
They're going to fight over the color red on the blue show, Marcus. They're going to fight over the color red on the blue show. That's what's going to happen. But
I don't see that happening. But back to the match. You guys are not appreciate Sasha Bayley. That was a great match. Had commercial interruptions and probably be better on pay-per-view or something. But I really enjoyed the hell out of that match, and they delivered the damn thing. And they should have closed the damn show because they are two of the best characters in all of wrestling right now. And if I was going to show you my chart for Wrestler of the Year, which it doesn't exist, they would be in the top. And I would deeply consider them as a tie at number one.
Yeah, but the problem that all the reports say is that
Ding dong.
Bayley is trying to separate herself from Sasha because, yes, you say that you put them both at number one because they're together as a tandem, they have been amazing. But apart, do you really think that they can have the same level of success that they have had? I think Sasha can, but I love Bayley, but
hold on, ding dong. Bayley can do this.
Okay.
Bayley has improved, and being with Sasha has helped her.
I honestly think being with Sasha, I think Sasha kind of latched onto her ever since she came back from her mental health break. She's definitely been in that position because Bayley is her best friend, and Bayley's probably helped her through that transition of getting over it. But I think it is definitely time for Bayley to separate and see what she can actually do, because her situation on Raw when she was Raw Women's Champion was a failed kind of experiment when she was doing it on her own. So it's now her time, because she's built up, she's improved as a character, to see where she can go with it. Eric's definitely right that she needs to explore it on her own.
I really wish she would have got drafted to Raw. That's just for me. Speaking of things that people not going on their own, Rey Mysterio, once again, is the worst parent in the whole wide world. First of all, he shows up to work. He knows he has a match, but he's too busy on the phone trying to find out where his daughter's at. So he doesn't even get dressed.
That's being a bad parent.
That's actually being a good parent at that point.
That's being a good parent.
You're putting your family in front of other things.
No, but they gotta have
money.
money.
He has no idea where she's at. She's 19, Eric. Just a grown woman. This ain't no 12-year-old girl. It's a grown woman. You ain't gonna know where your 19-year-old daughter's at
exactly,
all the time.
But he know what his job is. He had that match against Baron Corbin to qualify to be on Team SmackDown, and he was not dressed. He told Dominic to get his gear.
I ain't worried about no King. I ain't worried about no King Corbin on any given day of the week.
Well, he shouldn't worry about him because he lost.
Right,
he lost. He lost.
He
King Corbin is on the team.
The Messiah came out there. The Messiah came out there.
Keep Corbin's on
the Fire of Friday nights came out there.
Yeah, but then I think the moment though is Aaliyah being mad at Buddy because Buddy comes out there and he helps Seth beat Otis in a match that meant absolutely nothing about Otis losing to Seth.
Otis having a rough year.
But Otis, he had a rough year.
For him. It started off so good for him. It's just like he's rolling downhill. Him and Tucker Knight, man, they fell off so bad this week. This is the worst week.
No,
Marcus, that's worse than Tucker Knight.
Tucker Knight fell off way harder.
Marcus, that is worse than Tucker Knight. Marcus, as everyone said, Marcus, you don't even need to have Nevada, Arizona, or Pennsylvania have to count this. Marcus, everyone who saw Tucker Knight in that ring thought he was some random Joe from a local city. In that, no one even realized that was Tucker Knight in that match. That was the worst. Marcus, it was so bad that I was hoping that Retribution had a mask to give Tucker Knight that said, I know you've been discarded. We're going to lead you to the light. At least that would be a story. I need to start a petition. We need to save Tucker, man. I might need...
No. We're already trying to save Billy Kay, who stole the show from me. That moment with the Street Profits, Big E, and Billy Kay at the end was probably my favorite moment of SmackDown.
Try to give the Street Profits tricks like to go against Raw when they're like, we were there with you.
We were on Raw at the same time.
Let me just tell you something too, brother. Let me tell you something. I agree. The petition that you guys have about protect Billy Kay at all costs needs to be signed. It is ridiculous to have Peyton Royce now team with straight hair, Lacey Evans. I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense to me. I'm irate.
They've ruined something. They've ruined this for no reason.
They've 100% ruined it.
And Emo, your comment about Murphy trying to hide his buddy inside Alita is inappropriate. And that's what I would expect from someone who support West from B More. That's what I would suspect. Actually, happy belated.
Only thing I have a problem with Emo's comment. Only thing I have a problem with his comment is that he said trying. Buddy is hiding his buddy from Murphy.
His
I don't know how it works. I just woke up. It don't matter. But you know what I mean.
Why did he suddenly turn into a caveman when he was talking to Seth backstage? Messiah, disciple.
I don't know, because all we know is Aaliyah's.
I don't understand.
We all just need Aaliyah to be aligned with Seth, and then it goes from there. And then the last mention I would talk about SmackDown.
Oh no! Can we go back and talk about the Aaliyah buddy real quick? This is all I have to say. Is that if I'm Seth and I watch the tape, man, I'm not letting Buddy back in the fold because he literally on camera said, "Trust me, I have a plan. I'm screwing over Seth."
He did not say that. He just said, "Trust me."
Yeah, I feel like that's what that implied. I felt like that implied, hey, man.
And Marcus, that is what wrestling is supposed to do. You're supposed to imply a lot of things. I just want to give a brief shout out to Ruby Riott. New hair, who this? She got the win. She's on the team, SmackDown women's team.
Can I ask the question why Natty got two opportunities at this and failed both times?
Because Betty, she's Natty.
She's the same reason Lana needs to go through tables. Natty needs to miss out on opportunities.
I'm appalled with myself. That honestly, I'm so invested in the Shayna, Nia Jax, Mandy Rose, Dana Brooke, Lana storyline about Lana going through a table each week. Marcus, I look forward to this. Like, when she was down there at that match, I was like, why is Lana out here distracting people? And it's like, it's something I should not care about, but I actually did. And I don't know how I'm supposed to feel about that.
Yeah, how you supposed to feel. Lana is the best. Lana number one. And I really feel like in the most hateful thing in the history of Dana B, the pettiest thing in the history of Dana B is going on in this Lana storyline, in which Rusev went to AEW and Vince is like, I think I kept the Shawn Michaels in that tandem right there. I kept Lana, and I am going to make money with Lana as being the number one woman on Raw. There it is, right there. There it is. What is that? What is that?
Marcus, it's not often that I agree with you, and I'm wearing a Rusev shirt. Marcus, considering what AEW's been doing with Miro, Marcus, I think you're right. Lana, for whatever reason, Lana is money for me right now. And when she's coming down to the ring, interjecting herself, doing a bad job about it, and then, Manny, I can admit, you hate Nia Jax, but you have to admit, you like seeing
Hold on,
Nia.
I never said hate.
You dislike her.
I just like
like if he saw Nia on the street, he ain't gonna throw anything at her. It's like, go home, Nia.
I firmly believe Nia has the strength to throw me a good far few feet away.
I would love to see Nia Jax put you through a table, Manny, out of revenge.
So,
Save Samoa drop.
Well,
I just wanted this to get to the week.
saying
So
that,
when Lana just looks at.
I read a news
go
story
ahead.
that the plan of Lana going through the tables is not to bury Lana. The overall plan is to actually have her
Yes.
put Nia Jax through a table at some point, which would be fucking hilarious.
I don't even know
Yeah.
how that's possible, but I would tune in for it. A minor.
But I want Lana to get to the point where she throws her a table, or just jumps through a table. It's like, hold on, girls. I'm just gonna jump through this.
So I know you guys focus on so many of the main storylines on your show, so I'm trying to bring light to some of the little minor storylines that caught my
cover
attention.
everything, kind of.
Angel Garza got a new shirt. I was very happy to see Angel Garza with a new shirt. He wasn't talking about anything, but hey, what can I say? And then the last thing on Monday Night Raw that really piqued my interest is as I go up to get it to talk about it.
We're talking about SmackDown.
We're SmackDown.
We're
We
finished.
were at SmackDown, and we only talked about Raw because we started talking about Lana.
No, I think
Or
we have finished SmackDown. Actually, it was nothing else to really talk about.
We never technically covered the Big E Street Profits beef.
We did. We talked about it a little bit. We brought up Billy Kay, man.
We talked about Billy Kay showed up, but do you think they're gonna like what's Big E doing?
I don't know.
Big E
Marcus.
wasn't doing that, man. He just back there cackling, and that's Manny. That's your boy. Where he going?
I thought you guys would be happy about this. Here, it's Biggie,
Oh,
black man taking away money from a white woman while they were gambling in the back of what looked like Trivial Pursuit.
No, I enjoyed the segment. Hands down.
I think he's going to be in a qualifying match for the Survivor Series team, but like, I don't know what they're doing with him.
If you book it right, Big E is going to be booked strong. He's going to be the last member to make it on the SmackDown team, and in actuality, he'll probably be the last man standing to let Team SmackDown get the win. That's how I would book it, because you make him look stronger.
You see him fighting Dawkins?
Huh?
I saw them staring at each other. I don't know. I feel like him and Dawkins had a moment of like, we're gonna get this random Dawkins Big E match for no reason.
You don't know if Dawkins was awake or sleeping, that man. You just don't know. So since you brought up the New Day, actually did cut a promo on the Hurt Business, who actually scored a win. Cedric and Shelton got a win against Coffee and Xavier, which makes sense because we all know the iteration of Coffee and Xavier is not the strong suit of the New Day. Marcus, did you like the exchange between, as I guess listener Levi would say, all this black on black crime that took place?
There was a lot of black on black crime, and the Hurt Business Booker T just bored again. It's just that they just want to put out other black wrestlers. They took out Retribution. That's fine. But they went back to business, which is hurting black businesses. Like they have no reason other to feud with the New Day. They're like, I guess they want the gold or whatever, and they were promised the gold. But I really wish they would transition to a different. They get their own little feuds, and Ricochet is just due to join them, right? Like it's a matter of time. Like when Retribution came out there to pretty much beat up Tucker Knight, Ricochet is going to join the Hurt Business, right?
Let me ask this question to you, Manny. If Retribution could save anybody, who would you want them to save, Ricochet or Tucker Knight?
Ricochet on Raw Talk, they attacked Tucker Knight because what he did to Otis.
Yes, they put that in there. He's like, I did all that hacking shit to hook up Otis with Mandy, and then Mandy, and then you ruined that, Tucker.
Oh shit!
Like,
Wow,
the briefcase.
I didn't realize they had that type of Wow, that's impressive.
They had some continuity right there.
And honestly, and let me just say, you know who's still in the show on Monday Night Raw? And I can't believe I'm about to say these words that come out my mouth. Alexa Bliss. Alexa Bliss is actually she's making the Firefly Funhouse even more entertaining than what it is because she is a lot creepier than Bray. That's crazy to say. From her with her new trick, whatever that was, I guess she spits.
Yeah, you're scared of white women, Eric. That's all this is.
Marcus, that may be
like,
true.
I don't know. She's crazy. She's crazy. I'm gonna go to jail if I ever had to defend myself against her. But she's crazy.
Nikki
Why don't y'all
Cross,
believe me?
Nikki Cross trying to confront her backstage. You know,
Hey, did you know Nikki Cross was overall?
Marcus, I did not.
Did you know that?
I did not know that.
Not until I saw her this week. That did not register to me. Did not compute.
But I think that I'm enjoying the storyline that they're having with Alexa and Bray. But I don't really need him to go after the title with Randy. And that's just how I feel about it. Manny, how about you?
I don't think him or the Fiend need the title. I feel like that character is just above the title. Like, you end up having to book him really strong, and then you book yourself into a corner of the fact that you now have to find somehow way of getting the title off him, and then have him come back again to look strong again. So it just doesn't seem consistent.
I mean, like for me, I thought a better feud for the Fiend instead of Randy would have been with Retribution. I think that it puts them in a situation where, you know, he's trying to manipulate the people who are trying to change things. It's like it's a war of mind games. So that at the end of the day, you know what? Next thing you know, Fiend is controlled. They're his minions. Because I will point out that Retribution looks like they will be more soldiers for Bray Wyatt than they would be for Mustafa Ali. Marcus,
Bray Wyatt already took out Retribution by himself.
He did, which would make them more prone to follow him in their lead. Like, you know, this man is bad right here.
Hey, maybe since they're doing all this script continuity and trying to keep things connected, maybe whenever the Fiend is fighting for that title, Retribution will cost him the title.
I mean, that could work. I would be okay with that. I mean, that's
what he is an unstoppable force. He's been shown to be invincible. Like, I think you put a gun in him and he'll still kick out him too. Like, that's what's going on with the Fiend. So maybe Retribution, Mustafa Ali, will make his impact by stopping the Fiend from winning the title, which would get us out that situation.
So, Marcus, the last match I want to talk about Monday Night Raw.
Me and Yim can fight somebody in the form of Alexa Bliss. They get something for me to do instead of she has to disappear.
Marcus, speaking of disappearing, the match that opened up Monday Night Raw was the guitar on the pole match. Elias versus Jeff Hardy.
Yeah. This is still the same week. We should have ended Raw with this. I don't understand when you have a.
The worst thing is we talked about this on Tuesday, and I completely forgot about everything we've spoke about since then.
Yes.
So,
I can't remember the last time WWE had a pole match. I'm going to say that for the record. I can't remember. But
isn't that a good thing? Because
it's been a good thing because they had a streak of having one every week. Yeah, over the years, there's been so many damn pole matches in all kinds in every different wrestling promotion, and for them to have one with this cheap ass guitar or real guitar or whatever happened at the end of this match, it was like, well, that was that, and they were just as shitty as I remember. But for nostalgia reasons, I loved it, and I think they're about to make a wave of the comeback. Like the whole Shark Cage gimmick with the manager that made it come back.
That's all you want.
Pole matches are coming back.
Oh Jesus! So
it doesn't get better than this, Eric. Singapore King on a pole match.
So I'm gonna say,
and you know they love themselves some kendo sticks.
I'm gonna save AEW for last, so I'm gonna transition to NXT. And Manny, I turn to you because this is a very important question for you, sir. NXT started off with a match with a participant that I know you've been extremely critical of. It was Ember Moon versus Dakota Kai. And
hold on, you make me sound like Booker T when you say that, but okay, carry on.
You've been critical of Ember, saying that she ain't ready, she doesn't do anything for you. I thought this was one of her best matches since she has returned, and overall, I felt that the right person won, proving that Toni Storm should have been the one on the motorcycle and not Ember Moon because she overshot. But Manny, what was your take on Ember versus Kai?
Hold on, let me ask you a question with a question.
I asked you a question first. You can't.
Hold on. Let's just get these questions.
So, you're saying that this match was good, but was this more about Dakota Kai or was it about Ember Moon? I'm gonna say Dakota Kai put more into that match than Ember Moon did.
It's possible.
Oh,
I'm a big fan of Dakota Kai, and it's possible that Dakota Kai carried Ember because the biggest knock that I have on Ember Moon is that her moves are very, I don't know if the right word is calculated, or you could see that, hey, this is the match this is the move we plan to do right here, and I'm about to do it. Like, her wrestling style is not organic enough to make it feel like it's natural. Marcus, you were grinning over there. Are you laughing at me and Manny disrespecting Ember Moon like this?
well, I have a question.
Yes.
The only way to answer this is with another question. The fact that Ember Moon lost to, I believe we're all in agreement to Dakota Kai, who I think we all like, as you know, the spiteful bitch. But could this have ended could this have been the main event of NXT? The shock of Ember Moon losing to Dakota Kai.
No, because Toni Storm is the bigger star, and I think that Toni Storm, Candice LeRae, Shotzi Blackheart had more of a story to get you to come the next week and like, oh shit, she just destroyed the tank. Especially after announcers really set up that this tank meant a lot more than what we thought, talking about her brothers in the military and this tank. I was like, oh, I knew something was going to happen to the tank.
I wouldn't even say I would agree with that, but also when you look at the match Ember Moon had with Dakota Kai, it was a completely different type of match to Toni Storm and Shotzi Blackheart, where this match was a very fast-paced opening match, which you don't really want to have as your main event.
No,
because this is the one you kick off the show. You're like, yeah, NXT.
Yeah, NXT. Woo, we're in this.
And then they
in a motorcycle.
And then they transitioned to a match that I have mixed emotions about. Kushida got the win. Kushida needed the win. But how Kushida got the win made no sense to me, of Cameron Grimes still being terrified of Dexter Lumis and the referee that was part of the zombie and things like. I don't know if I liked it. It protects Cameron Grimes.
PTSD works, see.
Yeah, but did we really need to protect Cameron Grimes that much in this match? Because Cameron Grimes is the Baron.
Protected. I think it was comedy.
He's the Baron Corbin of NXT. He don't have to win if he's still going to the moon. Marcus. Manny then. Manny, go ahead.
There was that long pause you did, Eric.
Because none of us had anything to say. But no, I kind of liked it. Like, he was completely still freaked out when he did his backstage segment with the blonde. Yeah, he was still freaked out. The referee made his appearance there as well, and he was freaked out. It was funny.
It was.
It was Cameron Grimes comedy,
and it just shows that he is good at playing a character, which makes you go, Cameron Grimes really is at some point going to the moon.
He's going to the moon. But since I want to stay focused,
I can't wait for the over the moon match. On the moon match. I don't know what it's going to be about, but there's zero gravity. They're going to have a wrestling match on the moon.
Gentlemen, I want to stay with characters because by far, this was my favorite thing of the entire week of professional wrestling. It was also Sharpie's wife's favorite thing because she was watching it with me. The segment, Thatcher's Thatch Can, by far.
I knew it.
You just... Like,
I know your wife's face in this. Go ahead.
When they did it last week, and I think it was last week with the other dude who got a new name,
August Gray, Anthony Gray, whatever they're going by Gray.
Austin Gray or something.
It doesn't matter. He had the look of that dude like, I'm tired of taking your shit, Thatcher. But today that you put the fed up, dreadlock little black guy with him, and then Thatcher even gave him an opportunity to say, okay, now it's your turn to get the reverse. And then he puts him in an ankle lock, and I just could not stop laughing. If you see how much joy I have about this segment, it's like, I can't wait till next week and we have another one.
I love the fact that when he was put in that heel hook, he was screaming for Regal to help him.
Yeah.
Regal! But, okay. So the reason this segment is so great for me is one, the trainee went to Thatcher after the first attempt of his life. Said, "It's supposed to be an exhibition. It's supposed to be an exhibition, man." And I mean, clearly this guy deserved everything that was coming to him for not watching the product. Because Thatcher's been doing this on a weekly basis of over injuring people. He should have been mentally prepared. He was clearly there for a check. He was clearly there for that cheap paycheck or TV time. And so when he got his, and Thatcher was like, "Now it's your turn." You knew it wasn't going well for him, and the guy should have been aware of that. But I really appreciate this. This is great, and I want Thatcher to somehow form a group of. I really want him to have no name guys just being standing around though, and that he just takes out full Murder Hawk style. But it would make more sense because he's crazy. But I loved it. I loved it, and they tried to do something with Mr. Gray here, coming out there making the same. And we have an instant storyline in NXT that didn't begin in the parking lot, guys. It did not begin in the parking lot. And I'm for this.
Manny, do you have anything to add to Thatch can, or can I move on?
Akeem did look like a little bitch, though, right?
He did.
But
I mean, I wanted to break his ankle by the end of it.
Manny,
motherfucker hit.
Allow me to be racist real quick.
Hold on,
I believe I was already racist on Thursday.
Yeah, Manny is racist. And we're all racist, but and will I be racist? Are you about to criticize the young black wrestler that was in the ring with Thatcher?
No,
and how Booker T.
No, he's about to talk about Shai Lee.
Yes,
and he had to get the opinion of the early Asian.
Yes. So I need Manny to tap into his Asian aura and tell me why the Chinese consulate needs Xia Li to take out Raquel Gonzalez. Why was that the challenge that needed to be done?
Eric, on Thursday, I did say there was 3 reasons, potentially, why this feud is happening. The United States Embassy is going to revoke her visa to stay in the United States if she doesn't start winning, because she's on a losing streak. Boa is a representative from the Chinese delegation and is sending letters that her family are in gambling debt, and the only way she can recover that debt is by winning, so thus putting herself in bad matches. Or 3, and this I think is by far the most racist thing I'm probably going to say on this show.
Too spicy.
She's the little Asian girl from Rush Hour 1.
Manny, know how I know that's the most racist thing that you said on the show? Because I was gonna say that because I didn't think you were saying that. Because when I see that segment. When I see that segment, all I see is that girl in the backseat of the car. When I walk by, and now she's grown up to be Xia Li, and now she's disrespecting the family. It's so useless, huh?
She's running from Junetown.
Yeah, it's so useless. But damn it, it's one of those.
This is a stupid storyline. I don't know where the storyline is going, but I'm so intrigued. I want after Xia Li's match next week, after she gets beat by Raquel, because she's getting beat by Raquel, guys.
Yeah.
I need some more racism. I need red lights. It's not even Marie, guys, but red lights. Dragons coming out, and just like in Coming to America, the emperor of whatever village she's from, apparently, comes out there walking out with people throw a rose petal at his feet, threatening Xia Li and saying, "You're going to die." And it's like, what? I really want them to go full cheese with this. I want Xia Li's life to be on the line.
100%.
And family.
I want her to call up Tozawa and go, "I need to borrow your ninjas."
So, true. I guess true. Arguably, the most memorable thing that took place on NXT was, I guess, the kings of NXT, Pat McAfee, Birch, Lorcan, and Dunn. I got it right.
You think that man to get shredded and kill a man in the parking lot for you?
I honestly, I understand that they had a good impact and stuff like that, but I'm still pissed at them because Drake Maverick came out there happy as hell. And I must say, he came out there happy as hell. He was chucking it. Killian Dane wasn't even killing him. And then the fact that they were getting into that ring to destroy Everrise, everything was perfectly fine for me. They could have debuted after Drake Maverick and Dane got theirs. But needless to say, Marcus
killed Killian Dane.
So Marcus, do you like
went too far?
Mark, do you like the Kings?
I do like the Kings.
I don't like them.
The image that Manny posted of them doing the selfie, and it was basically Danny Burks being that old dude and Pete Dunne being the designated driver, just sober and frustrated with this group because they were wilding out, burning stuff in the ring. They burned the flag. McAfee did his job, just killed it on the microphone. And then Pete Dunne, apparently it's that dude you don't want in your group because he's going to always get you arrested for that murder.
Yeah, I mean, but
we just went to the liquor store to get some Skittles. This dude done killed the clerk, took the money out the machine, and we're going like, Pete,
but
here for that.
At the same time, though, he's known as the bruiserweight. His job is to bruise people. The long hair, the ripness,
murder.
It makes it got. But Killian Days should never came back. He should never came back for it. You know what? You poked the bear.
He came back for the business. Yeah, he got the business. He got the business already. They beat him up. He did not have to kick the door on his face.
You did.
Like even Pat McAfee went, that was a little extreme. We need to talk about this. Because that's not what we're about.
You need to also point out that at that point he was standing like a teapot. He was like
he was short and stout. So Manny, I take it that
too far.
You like the Kings also, I take it though, Manny.
Yeah, it was a really good segment. I'm still not sold on the Brit and Brawlers being in this in this faction. Like I would still be sold if it was just Pete Dunne and Pat McAfee. I don't need the other two in it.
No, Manny,
okay.
If you had Ridge Holland in there, it would be even more devastating. I mean, the fact is that Lorcan
and Bruiserweight replacing Ridge.
I feel like that was Lorcan.
Honestly, who else? I mean, because I honestly don't know what the faction would look like with Ridge Holland in there. It would have been Ridge, Pete Dunne, and McAfee, and they would need somebody else without the Brit and Brawlers, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even know who that other person would be.
Me neither. Mm-hmm. But with that saying,
Funny.
I guess it's now time for me to go to Dynamite, which I think produced one of the worst go-home shows of all time to make me want to buy Full Gear because I don't know what half of the stuff on the show, the relevance it had to their show. Like, I just didn't care. Like, the show starts off with one of the most ridiculous matches ever. The two members of the Inner Circle fighting MJF and Wardlow because they don't want MJF to be in the Inner Circle. But it doesn't matter if they win this match or not for the simple reason because MJF is fighting Jericho on Full Gear. And if he wins, he's in the Inner Circle. And there's dissension. And then you have Jericho on commentating. I hated everything about this. When I think of the Inner Circle, when I think of Wardlow, I'm like, they could all be so much better if they were on their own, making the roster a little bit better. Manny, looks like you're chopping to say something.
Eric, it did make sense. Like, Sammy Guevara and Ortiz did not want MJF to join the Inner Circle. So last week they said we're gonna fight you and Wardlow next week, and we're gonna make sure you do not make it to the pay-per-view. So this makes 100% why this match is happening. It's just that it was a bunch of bullshit. And as I said on Thursday, Matt, I feel bad for Serpentico because every time he's on Dynamite, it's because someone else is dressed up as him.
And he should be banned. He should be banned from the crowd because it's never him.
My favorite thing is that Serpentico, does he buy tickets as Serpentico and get jumped in the back every week for his mask? Or do people buy his mask and pretend to be Serpentico? That's the bigger question. Like, I feel like he gets his ass whooped every week and it's like, oh no, not again.
Yeah, but
who dressed up as now?
Like this,
he never gets his revenge.
This segment is like giving us trying to promote two matches that I don't think anybody wants: Sammy versus Matt, and then Jericho versus MJF. Maybe Jericho versus MJF might have a little bit more traction behind it, but I could care less about Sammy and Matt. I don't want that. I don't need Matt Hardy. Matt Hardy was on this show too much for me personally. It was on the show too much.
He was on twice.
That was too much for me. So
I would have rather had this close to show than Cody and what's his whatever's going on that 6-man tag. At least they had the stars.
Marcus,
you can still, and the show could have ended with MJF punching Jericho, talking about I ain't soft. I ain't soft. I feel like that's the better ending to a show.
Marcus, you can argue that is a valid point. I agree with that. I mean, I'm not.
What do you
I'm
think of
not.
Wardlow?
I like Wardlow. I think he's one of those. He's grown on me. I don't know where we're gonna go with him in AEW, but considering that they don't have much else going for him, he needs to break off. I mean, because to me, it was too many. It was too many references to TK this week. Like everybody's referencing Tony Khan. I'm like, all right, great. Tony Khan is becoming Dixie Carter. His name is showed up on the show all the time now. Like, great.
It's only a matter of time before he becomes a character on the show
Exactly.
as well. That's even worse.
Yeah. This is what I said. This is what I said weeks ago. You guys were like, I don't know. He's already a character. No, he's becoming Dixie Carter. This show is totally turned into the Impact. And you're just going to see it very soon. And like, Cody is clearly, he's full Jeff Jarrett right now.
And
he's like, full Jeff Jarrett mode.
And the great thing about it, I feel like Kenny Omega has been talking to the Tribal Chief because he is channeling his dark side when he had his interview and he says that, and he quotes, "What tournament have I been in that I haven't won?" And I'm like, yeah, talk that shit, Kenny. Be arrogant in this situation. Omega versus Page might be one of the better matches. I just don't know if AEW did it justice with the promotability of this match, because I thought the vignettes or the segments that they did with Page and them wasn't that great. Go ahead, Marcus.
You didn't like the music?
No.
Did it give you a good laugh? I got a good laugh off the music. I forgot the song already, clearly. But for some reason, Mariah Carey's "We Belong Together" is the song that comes to my mind. And I know that's not the song, but it was what it was. I enjoyed it. I enjoyed the save they did later on at the end. I feel like they contradicted everything.
Yeah.
I didn't feel like they needed to come off for that second time. It was what was said in the interviews already, and them having that stare down and him holding that drink, or as JR put it, being gunned up, which I've never heard that term used for someone with alcohol, but I'm going to start using it.
Like I just want to point out, like it's week in and week out that Page is drinking, but his drinking hasn't cost him a match yet. So I'm just kind of like, where are we really going with this? Like, is this going to be the first time he loses to Omega because he's drunk?
I don't think we're going that way, and nor do I think Steve Austin ever went that way. Maybe the Sandman, maybe Jake the Snake, maybe Jeff Hardy, and I don't think those were storylines when they did it. I don't think I need to do it.
I don't even really want to waste time talking about Miro versus Trent. Manny, do you have anything?
No, you got to talk about the boy.
You know, these are two of my guys in the rings, Marcus, and I'm very disappointed in both of the individuals. I don't like this storyline. I don't like this being over a video game. It doesn't make me want to watch them go against the best friends, because I don't like the best friends. And Miro and Kip Sabian and Penelope Ford was one of the hottest women wrestlers in AEW. Like, she was winning matches, she was being promoted. Now she's at the wayside again. And now it's like they cannot push multiple women at the same time, because it's like the Penelope Ford push that she got has been taken away and it's given back to Nyla Rose, because now Nyla Rose is popping back on the screen again. And then
guess who's new? AEW pushing women of the division. It's Red Velvet, because who she paired with? The CBSO, the Chief Bullshit Officer.
Did you see the post that MJF posted about Brandy Rhodes?
And I 100% agreed, and I think we've lost Marcus because he's frozen.
Oh, well, but at least he has a very pensive look on his face, so he's thinking about it. But everything about he said about Brandy was right. She would have been let go long time ago. She's been put into so many things, and now she's mentoring Red Velvet. Man, that's some cake I don't want to eat right there, man. It just don't make no damn sense. Did Marcus freeze up with you when he recorded also, Maddie, or no?
No, but I have a feeling he's run out of hotspot minutes at the moment.
That's what happened. If you guys can hear me, that's what happened.
We can hear you, Marcus. Do you need
to hear you now?
Do you need to call me on the cell phone I wish I could close capture the screen, like via telephone, the pensive looking Marcus.
It just sent me a message because you should be shutting your shit down. You used all your minutes. I was like, I have % left. Sons of bitches, don't do this to me. No.
Oh, now we're not at a good screen. But Marcus, we're almost finished with the show, so it's okay. We can keep it going. I thought that the FTW group actually made very valid points. I just know, Marcus is go, and now the screen looks really bad. What do I do here? I don't know where Marcus is at.
He's back.
Oh, he's back. All right, good. I
He's not
thought,
moving.
Manny, did you like the Taz, Brian Cage, Ricky Starks promo?
I did, but it does point out the flaws in the AEW ranking system. Because of that, Taz said he spent 3 hours sitting outside Tony Khan's office to speak to him. But then he said he believes in the ranking system, but Brian Cage is 10-1 and ranked number 1, and Ricky Starks has won 10 of his last 11 matches and isn't in the top 5, and neither of them have matches at Full Gear.
I would agree. It was very weird, and maybe I can go to camera 7 so Marcus sorts out his problems. There we go. We're having technical difficulties because we lost Marcus. Oh, Marcus is back, so we can go back to camera 2.
Shit ain't gonna work.
Marcus, like I said,
Finally get good internet again.
You could call me on the cell phone, Marcus. We can finish it on the phone. I mean, just your picture won't be there.
Am I working now?
You're working now.
Yeah.
Well, we're gonna see it. We'll ride this way until it's over, but it's fucking Wi-Fi. It's terrible.
So Manny, did you finish your point about Taz and TK before Marcus popped back on the screen?
Yeah, it's just like it is pointing out the flaws in the ranking system. Even though in Kenny Omega's sit-down interview with Tony Schiavone, where they both say it's a sports-based product where the wins and losses do matter.
Yeah, I mean, but like I was saying, I think this was the strongest that the FTW crew looked. I thought Brian Cage didn't even look as bad as he normally does. Maybe because you had Ricky Stark sitting back there with some of the worst sunglasses on I've ever seen. I didn't like those sunglasses at all. Marcus, I know I know you support absolute Ricky Starks, Marcus. Tell me why I'm wrong.
I'm telling you, that was the best look of anybody at the show. He looked like a real star. And then he had the cut his promo. Like, everything they said was true. And, I haven't defended this group in a while or ever in my lifetime, but you have to defend them because the entire AEW show don't make sense about who's getting title shots or what. Again, Nyla Rose was the number 1 contender for about like 3 months before they decided to go back to Nyla Rose as the number 1 contender in their women's division. It's ridiculous. It don't make sense. And TK is full of shit. And he gonna have Taz sitting outside. Doesn't make sense. Kiss my ass. I walk out.
All right. I think arguably the best match of AEW was the Young Bucks versus the Private Party. Despite the injury that Matt Jackson has, Manny, do you think this match was necessary, or they could have just did some type of backstage vignettes that could have led to promoting this match?
It added to the story, but they sold it really well on the commentary that Jericho kept saying that they were stupid to take this match because when Matt's injured and it's so close to the pay-per-view. But apparently, so Matt's selling the ankle, but he's legit hurt his knee. So
yeah. No, it's so they're selling the ankle on the show, but he has a partially tear MCL or something it's a very, very serious injury that he is suffering from. And for me, with that injury being as serious as it is, I don't know why you would put him in this match where he can also injure himself even more. He's
putting himself in the match. He's on boss. Can you hear me?
I couldn't hear what you said because you kind of like that. So if you can say that again.
I said he's his own boss. Can he just put himself? Who's gonna stop him?
I don't know.
From being a VP.
Seems like the internet is trying to stop you right now, Marcus. I think you should just call me on my cell phone and finish the show that way. I mean, people pay to see.
You just want to use the cell phone.
No, not necessarily. It's just that no one can really hear what you say. Well, now we can hear you. We can have the Skype limit right there. Overall, I mean, I thought it was a good match. You could tell it was very limited. I'm very intrigued of what's gonna happen between FTR and the Young Bucks in their match, because I'm assuming what would happen is that the Young Bucks would win the match, and then next thing you know, then they would have to drop the match because of the injury or something like that. But I could be wrong. Is there anything else I missed on AEW?
Yeah, you did.
Go ahead.
This motherfucking echo. Ridiculous.
Manny. Manny. You know, I'm going to do something I normally don't do. And Manny, I need you to look into my eyes. I'm sorry. I criticized you for talking about the echo that AEW has. And quite frankly, it is atrocious. I do not understand why they can't mic their performers individually. You put a lavalier mic right there and it should cut down on the echo. Instead, they're trying to record the audio from an on-camera microphone. It makes absolutely no sense that you're in TV production and you can't get this echo taken care of.
No, Eric, do you know what the problem here is? This has only just happened recently that I've noticed it. It's been fine for a while, and then it's just like for the last 4 weeks, this echo has been happening repeatedly, and then the point where Shida gets attacked by Nyla Rose, and then they go to another video package, and then you can hear the crowd in the background chanting for Shida when you're watching something about Kenny Omega and Paige, and JR's talking over it. And then he's like, oh, I shouldn't be talking over this. This is 100% bullshit. This whole production is shit.
It is.
Emo,
it's a Mickey Mouse organization.
Emo says the Bucks should have technically wrestled a technical wrestling match with no flips. If they did that, they wouldn't have a match, man. It's as simple as that. Let's be real. I don't think
are they saving their technical match for this Sunday or tonight at Full Gear? Maybe that's what they're doing.
I don't know. Is there anything in your refrigerator, Marcus? I feel like we're on an episode of Cribs. Let's see what's in the refrigerator.
There is nothing in the refrigerator. It is empty. Hold on. Oh, what's that? It looks like some mac and cheese of some kind. I don't know if you can see that. It looks like mac and cheese. I don't know what that is, to be honest.
Don't open it, man.
Unboxing video. Do it.
Don't open it, man. That might be yellow cake, man. You might break the whole world to destroy over that yellow cake, man. Gotta be careful. Well, Jen,
it's more boats. It's more boats. It's the Trump balance. I knew they were around here.
He was in his banana pudding. With that being said,
they were in the banana pudding. The boats were in the banana pudding.
This is pretty much all I have. I don't have anything else for this show.
Hey, no more emails?
No, we didn't have any emails this week. I told you, this is a dying breed, man. This is hold on by a thread. Save us. But you know what? I don't care if no one else watches. I enjoy spending time talking to Manny and Marcus about the week in professional wrestling because they do a great job on Tuesday and Thursday covering everything except for SmackDown. And I'm glad they let me be a part of their empire, knowing that I'm a dying breed. I understand what I am. I mean, they are the AEW of wrestling podcast, and
don't you dare call us AEW.
And I'm the WWF of wrestling podcast.
Monday Night Raw.
Yeah. So with that being said, though, I had a great time. I had good news today. You know, Marcus is coming back. I feel happy about that. Don't know why. It's not like he came over, but it's nice knowing.
I 100% feel it. It'll make our production so much more easier.
Yes.
At least his phone won't blow up, and at least we won't have Wi-Fi hotspot issues. It's just great. It's great to have him back.
Let me just say, Manny is dealing with a lockdown, but hearing that Marcus is coming back is like, God damn it, man! This is the greatest news ever. And
he's coming back.
The fact that I get to hear I'll get to hear Marcus holler at Ryan is always great for me. It's like, man, what the hell are you doing in there?
We need more of them stories. We haven't had one of them for a while.
Hadn't had a story in a long time. Hadn't had one.
So the return is imminent.
Yes.
whenever I decide to hit the road, basically whenever they kick me out the hotel. I'm sure they're gonna have my replacement here. I'll be in the bed and be like, he's like, you still here? I'll leave when I want.
I'm the tribal chief. You gotta do something with that. But with that being
Emo said you're the Impact Wrestling of podcasts.
You're doing great work. No one watching.
That
They
is true.
shot a guy on Impact. They shot a guy.
I know they did.
They shot somebody on Impact.
Impact has lost his goddamn mind.
They got shot.
But like I said, we hope you guys enjoyed this episode of our little show known as the Sharpshooters Wrestling Podcast.
Hold on. I have one more question about this show. Tonight is Full Gear, right?
Yeah.
And they're teasing the debut of somebody, and the rumor has it it's the Ryback. Is that putting asses in the seats?
No.
Is that putting asses in the seats?
No. I'm not gonna. I'm honestly not gonna watch AEW if he's on it.
Manny.
The man said, Eric, before you say your point, the man has said WWE are paying the wrestling sites, the wrestling news sites, to write fake news about him. Like they have fucking time to care about what the fuck Ryback is doing.
Manny.
I'm sure Vince forgot he signed the Ryback.
Manny, let me tell you something. I agree that is delusional. That is on some Donald Trump level delusion right there. However, I would have Ryback and I would watch 10 straight Ryback matches if it meant that I didn't have to see the man who should now be named on my Friday Night SmackDown anymore.
I just was dressed out on SmackDown. Why was he being interviewed with no shirt on? And he had no shirt on. Can someone explain why that happened?
Maybe he had just gotten out the shower.
Nah, man.
Did Roman approve that interview?
No, the worst part about I feel like this interview was a continuation from his interview last week. So they just made doing that interview, he decided to take his shirt off, and I'm just like,
they bullied me.
They bullied me, so I became a bully. I don't care.
I'm a freak.
Save Billy
I'm a freak in the ring and in the bed, in the sheets.
Save Tucky. But please
get rid of
I don't need Tucky to be saved.
Manny. We have to save Tucky. No man should ever go out with Tucky was wearing on Monday Night Raw.
This might have to go on a shirt. This would look good on a shirt.
Honestly, if there's a way we can sell that as Sharpshooters merchandise illegally, I'm down for it. And then they still have to shut us down.
Well, don't you have to call the champion since he's notorious for making shirts off of hijack PEP? Who is the champion right now?
Luchador.
Oh.
He's Brock Lesnar in it right now.
Yeah, he's on hiatus
at Survivor Series.
Yeah, you're fighting him at Survivor Series.
Oh, I am.
The two people who don't show up to work.
And the fact that you're going on hiatus, you're still going to have to make picks anyway.
That's okay. I can do picks.
Oh, Jesus. No, you can't. She just said, no, you can't.
All right. So anyway, I'm Eric.
I'm Lord Manny. Hey.
And I'm Marcus, the grand finale, who's about to go run down the street in San Francisco, apparently, to go celebrate Joe Biden's victory.
And we're going to the moon.
We're going to the moon. Manny, give us a 2-finger deuce. There you go. Until next week.
He's got anti-gravity working. He's floating.
Next week, stay sharp.